Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to Listen Up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Thank you, KK. It's Phil and Ryan. Listen up, Ryan. Didn't know that I could get a hold of you during this awful busy time of the weekend, but it's a time to relax and reflect. And hey, this is still home. It'll always be home of the NCAA women's basketball champion, UConn Huskies. Ryan, I want to shout out to the Listen Up crew. I know you want to hold it up too for ordering us these jackets. Shout out to Alston for running the sticks. You all can see what it is. National champions, right? That's what they know it's all about. Hey, Ryan, beautiful Memorial Day weekend. Thank you so much. And thank all of you. Like, comment, and subscribe. Ryan, the subscribe number keeps going up. The count keeps going up. The likes keep going up. So I know that makes you smile a whole lot. And you know what? I like this podcast today very much because this is something that gets overlooked to the max, right? And I want to see what you have to tell me about this one. Thank you to Maggie Bononi and CT Insider for interviewing Serah Williams. Right, you know the title of this one, this is big for the UConn Huskies, and it is because Ryan Williams told CT Insider in this interview, listen to this, quote, I was sick and tired of watching March Madness on TV. I wanted to play in it. I just felt like I owned it to myself to be able to at least give myself the chance, the opportunity to experience the other side of college basketball while I can, like the winning side of it. Ryan, the reason it's so big and people are overlooking this, not everybody has this mindset. And I come to you today to see what you have to say because, boy, oh boy, does she fit in already. I'm confident with that UConn Huskies mentality. We just don't get that out of everybody. So, how big is this to Rye today that she opened up and told them in that beautiful interview about how much she's motivated? Now, it's already pretty much a given. She'll be in March Madness, right? Rye, this is just a whole nother dream come true because it's like how good are the chances of going back to back? And that's what she has a chance to do.
Yeah, well, first of all, a happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody out there and to all the veterans who served this great country. And yeah, the new jackets, of course, glad we finally got those in and we can show those off. And also thank you guys for 3,000 subscribers. It's been amazing seeing the sub count go up and up and for the last couple months, all the likes and comments. So, like we always say, thank you guys so much. And yeah, 3K, it's pretty hard to believe. But yeah, Serah Williams, pretty exciting player to talk about. But I think there's a big reason why players decide to come to UConn, and you know that you will be able to play in March Madness, that you're going to be playing on the biggest stage in women's college basketball. There's more attention from scouts in the WNBA, and you more than likely have a better chance at getting your name out there nationally and a better chance at possibly being drafted in the next level. And for Serah Williams, she's had three spectacular seasons at Wisconsin. She's leaving Madison as one of the best players in Badgers history, but you look at all three seasons, she has not been able to play in March Madness. Only one appearance in the NIT National Invitation Tournament, and the two other seasons have been Big Ten Conference exits. So players are
Mm.
definitely aware of the expectation in UConn that the Huskies will be playing in March Madness in March and sometimes even into April, of course, if we make it back to the national championship. And that's also the expectation for all the fans. And not to mention, when players come here, you're following in the footsteps of so many legends. There's so much history at Stores, and just to be able to play there, be able to play is just play here is some players' dreams growing up. So there's a lot of reasons to want to play for the Huskies, but one of the biggest reasons is knowing every year that you're going to have a pretty good shot at playing for a national championship.
You know, some people are going to beat me up for saying this. That's fine. And it's just a belief I have. I think you do too. You're not going to really there. It's not there. You're not going to get it out of them. And what I'm talking about is whether they're in interviews or these young ladies who play in the NCAA, they're not going to say it. Period. But what I'm trying to tell you is, Rye, there's levels to this. There's levels to this. Do you feel me on what I mean? Some of them care more than others about when we talk about winning, bringing back titles. Again, at the end of the day, they're all out there to win. They all work hard, but you're not going to change my mind. What do you think about that? There's levels to this, right? There's levels to this. Not only that, Ryan, do you think this is really what it takes is for any young lady to experience or any athlete to experience years of sitting out watching something on TV that you want to be in? Or does it help if you just win, win, win constantly?
Yeah, I mean, I think in Williams' case, it definitely helps grow that hunger and that drive to want to get to the playoffs and to be able to play on that national stage in March Madness. And like she mentioned in that article, watching for 3 seasons at Wisconsin and not being able to do it, especially with the numbers that she put up. So she
Mm-hmm.
has these great solo stats for herself, but unfortunately, just her team hasn't been able to put it all together. So I think, being able for her to leave that legacy behind, hopefully at UConn this season and being able to play in March Madness and hopefully, be able to compare herself to all the other national champions that have come through to UConn. So I think that definitely has given her a lot of drive this season to be able to come to UConn and to be able to fight with alongside all of her Husky teammates now and to have that will to be able to get back to the national championship.
Yeah, there's levels to it. And you know what I mean? Usually I don't say this about every athlete, but Rye, get out of her way. Get out of her way when she comes at you, right? In the UConn jersey this season, a fair warning to all the other athletes and the teams. Get out of her way. Everybody's fighting a battle that we have no idea of. Right? Let's go over to the video that came through. Well, again, 125 came through, right? I know that makes you smile a whole lot. Michael Eady. Oh, yeah. Love Kaylee. Gonna show you some things tailor made for this team. Give it a few, little adjusting. Good to go.
Yeah, I think so too. It's hard to say how much playing time Kaylee Heckle will have this season, but I think she should get a decent amount off the bench, and it definitely, kind of solved the only problem if you could try to find one on this roster is kind of the depth at the guard position. And I think definitely since this will be AZ's last season, we can definitely look forward to seeing Heckle possibly in the future, maybe her junior or senior season, getting a lot more playing time, having more of a role on this team. But I definitely think possibly this season we'll see her have some of those impact moments off the bench.
I like this one a lot. Cool Tuber said ESPN just reported about Heckle's commitment. Still no official word from UConn or Heckle. Well, it was on the social media, right? I mean, hey, that's and we have multiple sources that reported it.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely think it is official now, given that it was. Well, I did see it on UConn's social media, and I did see it on Kaylee's social media as well. So I'm pretty sure it definitely is official now.
This is a really interesting one. I want to read this one so bad. I've been waiting for it because Robert McMahon. Let's go over this one, Rob, because this is a beautiful thing about sports and the beautiful thing about the basketball capital of the world. 9 times out of 10, not saying it always happens, you're going to be a better basketball player just going up there, right? You and I appreciate basketball that much more just flying up there and watching. We're not even playing. Let's go over
Yeah.
this one, Rob. See what you think. Heckle is overrated. She has never been a starter and did not impress anyone when USC lost to UConn. I think Kellis Fisher is a more talented guard. Again, just saying, Rye, 9 times out of 10, 90% of the time, I really strongly believe that you're going to be a better player. No disrespect to any other teams. You're going to be better when you come to UConn.
Yeah, I think UConn provides a different level in terms of, the coaches here, and obviously no disrespect to any of the other teams, but just given the legacy that Gino and CD have built here, and they've done it so many times over and over, getting these women ready for the next level and preparing them for all the obstacles that each season has. So I think a lot of these players come into UConn and all the coaches on this coaching staff are able to give them their knowledge of kind of what to expect throughout the season. And I think that goes a long way of helping them throughout their whole entire career here at UConn. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Heckle, adjust to this team and definitely, hopefully, grow up in front of our eyes and be able to make a really good impact. It might not be this season right away, but hopefully in the near future.
I love it, man. I love it because even Joshua said this is a somewhat silly commentary. Look, Rye, it's funny when you stay positive and you don't let anybody else get in your head because here's what happens. When that athlete becomes a superstar in the making, you don't hear from anybody else, right? You just don't, maybe one or two people, you don't hear from everybody that we just heard from. They're just not, some of them are thinking she doesn't have it. Hey, that's the way life goes. Let's go over one more, Rye. Sun State said, going to be a lot of sad players riding the bench. In my book, Heckle is a Chen replacement. Williams adds depth along with needed defense and scoring in the paint. For me, the jury is out on what Fisher adds, and I have a feeling this girl from Ecuador is going to impress a lot of fans. Zabel right now is a wild card. She has the tools, but needs to find a shade aggressiveness and mental toughness. How Gino makes all of this work is why they pay him the big bucks. Going to be fun to watch. I miss Beckers already.
Yeah, I agree. I think Gino has the same problem every single year with, 14 or 15 great players on the team, and he somehow has to figure out each and every season what the lineups are going to be, who gets the playing time off of the bench, and I'm sure a lot of that will probably be decided as the season goes along. Of course, we have summer workouts coming soon. It'll be here before we know it. A lot of off-season work, but yeah, I mean, Ali Zabel, Morgan Shelley. Hopefully, Shelley comes back from injury okay. But it's going to be interesting to see. We have so much great young talent on the bench, so it's going to be fun to see who gets those minutes, who's able to really make that progression during the off season, who impresses Gino and the coaching staff, and how he's going to somehow put this lineup together throughout the season.
Now, listen, I love this. This is the complete opposite, right? Michael Eady said by season's end, Kaylee Heckle will be starting. She is the most natural point guard on this roster. She is coming to UConn with a major chip on her shoulder. Expect to see the K9 killer come out. This girl has a mean skill set. You've been warned. Whoa!
Yeah, well, talking about
Oh.
Williams having something to prove getting the March Madness, but I think Heckle does too. Obviously the freshman season didn't work out at USC, and now she comes to UConn with obviously some doubters, and kind of has to build her way up, and she could very well be at the end of the season starting possibly over Ashlyn or KK. You never know, but. Yeah, I think Kaylee Heckle definitely has something to prove here at UConn, and it's going to be exciting to watch her journey here.
And let's not hide from the fact that this is a big topic to discuss as well before I let you go, Ride. And maybe we'll have an episode about it, maybe not. You all comment below. We love you all. We appreciate you all a lot. Rye, who gets the ball in place of Paige Beckers? Now, again, I'm considering everybody on this roster, right? Every single young lady, I'm considering all of them. I want that answer, which one? There can't be two basketballs in a game, right? Can't be two basketballs. One basketball. My concern is who takes over when Paige Beckers, would have. All right, let's go and take a dip. How's that? Let's go take a dip in the swimming pool. I tell you this every year. Thank you. I'm glad you brought it up. Just two words, thank you. All the families out there, hopefully there's a lot of them watching Ryan and I today. Your ultimate sacrifice, right? You're traveling, whether you have kids or not, your husbands, your wives in the military. Ryan, what they do is a lifestyle. It's no job. That's a lifestyle. They sacrifice every hour, every day. Our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of each soldier who died protecting it. It's Phil and Ryan. Listen up.